served in Europe. I was what they called a skunk. I had 2 stripes, and everybody would say, "What's a corporal?" He's a skunk. He's got the 2 stripes. Went in on Utah Beach, and then went all the way through there, clear on up to Kassel, Germany. And Kassel, Germany is where I stopped. Well, going up on that Utah Beach wasn't half so bad, as it was mostly sand and a gentle slope. We had a few problems, but not near so many as what they had going up in Omaha. We suffered a few casualties, but it was easy to clear the Germans out because there's no place for them to hide. It only took us about 6 hours to unload and get up on the beach and then head for one of the cities. The first thing we run into was about 25 kids. I got pictures of them. I don't think that they were more than 15, maybe 16 years old at the very most. And the only thing we looked at and we thought was, what we ought to do is give them a damn good whipping and send them home to their mom and dad. And then we went up in there, up to St. Marie-Église, and that was our first German town, French town, German held. Then we got in there, and the first thing I saw was a GI, an 81st boy. His parachute had got stuck on the parapet of the wall of the church. And so I said to the cockeyed Frenchman, "How come you left him hanging up there?" Then he said, "We couldn't get him down." And my comment was, stupidly, "Why couldn't you?" He said, "There was too many Germans." Well, that makes it very sensible. But they built the scaffolding up and took him down, and he didn't even have a scratch. From there on out, there was no more playing. It was all hard work and scary. And we had the terrible job of pulling the men out of wrecked planes and burning planes, and our job was to get them out. We don't care how. And so that's where we ended up at, just pulling those guys out of those planes. One German out in the church house had them pinned down, and every time the guys would move, why, he'd take a pot shot. And so a British tanker come up, and so he told the British tanker, "Hey, we got a crowd up in there, and we can't get out." And he said, "Well, I'm sorry, I can't help you," but he said, "We have been told we can't shoot the churches." So he pulled out and went down, and in the meantime, those guys are still pinned down there. And up come an American tanker. And he said, "How come you guys are in the ditch?" And the guy said, "You see that church house?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "There's a sniper up in there and we can't get him." He said, "Well, I'll fix him for you." So he turned the old turret around and took one shot and knocked that one out. And then he said, "Well, there's no sense of playing around." So he lowered the gun and took another one and blew the roof of the church off. So that solved that problem in a big hurry. They come and grabbed a hold of us and took us down through the fields. And this was Hermann Göring's officer school. And he had deer running loose down below. And so we just shot a couple and we had fresh meat. The Germans would hand make a bomb. When we'd see it, if we had time, we'd throw it back. If not, why, we'd just flop on the ground and let it blow. So we had to put a curfew on this little town, Eschweiler, and to stop those people from coming around, because becoming very annoying. I think that was at Amsterdam, where they hung all the sympathizers. They just marched them out and strung them up. But we really didn't know what these concentration camps were. And so when we saw Buchenwald, we saw the ovens, we saw the pile of bones, but we didn't look for the rest of it. But when we got into the other concentration camps, then we knew what we were looking at and we knew what was happening. And they would, then I got pictures of some of them, and the one picture I got is in the archives in Washington, D.C. We got into that one. There was 200 bodies laying on the ground, and it was a vicious one. It was the worst one of the bunch. That was Dachau. We didn't know what freedom was. We had no idea. But when we went through concentration camps and we saw those people, we realized what freedom really is. And those people, they gave up their lives. They couldn't even fight for it. They just had it taken away. They had 5 guys hanging right there, all in a row. 2 women, 3 guys. They were all hanging there. And we got some of them that could talk to us, and they said that they had been hanging there for 2 days to let the people know that if we don't like what you do, why, we can dispose of you. You just shake your head and you think, how can people be so rotten? How can they be so no good? And yet, the world is full of it. It just made me hate. I didn't hate before, but when I got home, I hated. When I got home, I couldn't even talk to a German. I didn't even want to see him around. And that had to change. And gradually it got better. And I found out that I had some Germans in the United States Army now. They call themselves U.S. citizens, but they're German people. And of course, over in this country here, they soon enough forget all that crap, I think, and they become a good U.S. citizen, I hope.
What do you think would have happened had we not gone into the war?
There wouldn't have been in England. They'd have taken England, and taken Ireland, taken Scotland. It would have been an awful mess. When we get home, why, we turn around and we say to them, come on over to America, we've got lots of room. When they first got over here, they were absolutely amazed that we had so much, and yet we gave so much of it away. Because it's so difficult when you see these people here that misuse and kill each other. Just be thankful that you live in a place that you can do that, because over there, not only would they take you out and kill you, but they would take your family and exterminate the whole bunch of you, so nobody could be there anymore. But they would. I don't know how it is now, but I know when I was over there, it was very easy to kill somebody just because they wanted to kill them. But now, even in this country here, we don't rid the cockeyed rot out of it. We just leave it be and feed it. Makes you wonder what this world's going to be. At Kassel, Germany, I guess is where I finally decided that all people are not rotten and that there is people to be loved.